Okay, so this is Carolina. She's from Brazil. And we were actually just talking about like similarities and differences between our high school. So, actually, would you want to explain where you're from in Brazil? Just
Okay, so I'm born in São Paulo, the big city, and so São Paulo is the name of a city and also a state. And then when I was 8, I moved to another state also in the southeast of Brazil that is called Minas Gerais.
and then you went to private school.
Yeah.
So why did you go to private school?
So in Brazil we have public schools and private schools, but like public ones they're really bad. The system doesn't work. So I went to a private school so I could actually have education.
All right. So I went to public school like throughout my whole school. And then we were also talking about different clubs, activities, and teams. Like I was on the dance team in high school. And then like at my high school there was also like football, soccer, baseball, basketball, like all those types of clubs and sports. So then Carolina, she had a different experience in high school. You want to explain from that?
So high school in Brazil, it's just a building with classrooms, and you just have classes there, strictly math, chemistry, etc. So I was also in the swim team or like horseback riding team, but was outside of school, like nothing to do with school.
So I thought that was very different from what I experienced. I mean, I've heard of that before, but I never really like met someone who like experienced that. What were we talking about when we were talking about the egg drop? Oh yeah, so in high school, like for my physics class, we had to do a boat regatta, and Carolina asked if like we had to do the egg drop like she's seen in movies. And yes, like we do the egg drop, so I'm guessing you don't do an egg drop like that.
No, we don't.
So I actually didn't know that it was like a movie type thing, but
it's like such an American thing to see in movies.
Wait, like in Brazil they show it? Like,
yeah. It's like,
oh my
that's
gosh.
so American.
That's funny. Okay. So the last thing that I think we should talk about is we were talking earlier how when I was in high school we studied of course, but it wasn't for like a major test. So then Carolina had a different experience, like if you want to talk about how like you had to study like that last year just to like get into university.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in Brazil, nothing else counts to enter in a college, just like a grade from a big test, and each university has a different test. So you have to study a lot in your last year of high school, so you get a good grade on this test, and then got into an university. So yeah. Oh yeah, and like you can swap majors, like if you choose a major, you apply for the major, not for the university, so you can change after. Like if you're doing mechanic engineering, you can do nothing else.
No.
If you want to do it, you have to drop the whole university thing, study again, take the test the other year, and then start everything from scratch.
Oh, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
I've changed my major here like 3 times already. So then we were also showing each other pictures, and I thought it was really cool how Carolina she was swimming in Brazil, and she had to like swim across the ocean, I would say. So if you want to like put details into that, because I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so I was swimming in a pool, and then I thought, whoa, the ocean is so nice, I would try to do that. And then they have like in Brazil, because it's really warm and really nice weather all the year, we have like these competitions in the ocean. So we swim from the continent to an island, and yeah, it's just super cool.
Yeah, that sounded so cool. So yeah, let's see. Oh, I guess we could talk about how the picture, if you could pull up that picture again of your class.
Okay.
So I was saying how in my class there was about like 500 kids like in my class. So then this is Carolina's class.
It's like,
If I could. That's her whole class, which is crazy.
yeah, the whole senior class.
Yeah. So I thought that's like completely different from here too, I would say. I mean, some schools are like that, but my school was not like that. I did not have that type of experience. So yeah.
But yeah, even the public schools are like that. Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. All right, so I think that might be it for now.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, in one town, one city, how many schools do you have?
So I feel like our like cities are set up really odd because so I live in Clinton Township.
Mm-hmm.
Right next door to me is St. Clair Shores.
Okay.
So St. Clair Shores has three different like school districts. So there's Lakeview, Lakeshore, and South Lake.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to L'Anse Creuse because like L'Anse Creuse is, I would say, a better school. So between like 6 miles maybe, there's like four different high schools.
Mm-hmm.
And like in between that there's like even more like middle schools, elementary schools, and well actually just that because like elementary and middle schools will like filter in, so like high schools are bigger than elementary and middle schools.
Okay. Okay.
So even my school district, so I went to an elementary school that was like near my house, and then the middle school that I went to was also near my house, but my high school was, I would say, a couple miles away. And by the high school, there was also two elementary schools and middle school. So there's so
Oh,
many
wow.
schools.
So, okay, that's like Brazil. We have so many schools, but we don't separate in high school. Like, in the same school, there's the high school, kindergarten, and middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we have a lot of options in one city. So, yeah.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe your classes are so big because they have just one high school in the whole
Yeah.
city. But
That's probably why, actually. So you have like multiple high schools.
Yeah.
Okay. That's definitely why then.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. So I just would like to thank Carolina,
Aw.
and I can't wait for the next video. So, all right. So I just got back from talking to Carolina, and what I connected between what I learned from talking to Carolina and what we learned in class, the first thing I recognized was relating to ethno-relativism. I realized that I was really interested to learn about Carolina's story, and I didn't think that what she was telling me about her education system and how she lived was worse than mine. I just thought it was really interesting, and I would love to learn more about it. Another thing that I could connect back to class would deal with the dimensions of culture. I think that this project is definitely turning into more of the relationship side rather than just the task versus relationship, which is a dimension of culture. And at the beginning, when the project was first introduced, I was not really excited to start this project, but it's actually really fun, and I like talking to Carolina and learning about what her culture is like. So the other thing that, like, small insights I learned about culture and education that emerged from talking to Carolina is I never realized that education could be different between cultures. She said that clubs are not a part of her school, and everything that she did for school was classes and studying, while at my high school, it was, I would say, like 50% clubs and activities, 50% schooling. I even remember the band at my school would practice 7 hours of the day after school, and then we'd be in school for 7 hours. So it was really not just about studying, going to class. I would say it was much more than that. The other thing was the size of classes in school. So my school, and I know other schools in the area, they had over 500 kids like in classes. So my class of 2018 had, I would say, around 500 kids, which made this whole school have about over 1,000 kids, which is completely different than Carolina. She showed a picture, and it was only like 30 kids in her whole entire class. So that just shows the different amount of the differences that can be between the educational systems. So all in all, I just wanted to say again that I really enjoy this project, and I look forward to talking to Carolina more.